So this question is from Rachel in Newport, and it's, where do you stand on sanctuary cities? And can we start with you?
Initially, I don't really favor that term because it actually implies something that isn't true. So legally, sanctuary cities, if someone had committed a crime and they're holed up in a church or somewhere else, they can be, the law enforcement can come in and get them. I do not believe that we should be using local law enforcement to enforce federal regulations. I think that individuals who attend schools, who are productive in the community, it shouldn't be based on their residency. So I think that it gives a false impression that something is a safe zone when it's not. And so there are, but I do not believe that our law enforcement should be used to enforce federal regulations. I think that with the National Governors Association taking place in Providence, I think that the governor should be putting more emphasis and more pressure on the federal government to actually address the issue of immigration and the people who are here and are active and productive members of society.
Mrs. Smith?
Well, first of all, everyone deserves the same respect, whether they're a citizen or not. Although there's certain rights that are for citizens, and there's certain rights that are not. I have a friend that just moved to Italy, a very socialistic country, and he had to prove he had a job, he had to prove that he had a residence, and he had to have sponsors. Now, once again, everybody deserves respect, but as far as allowing a non-citizen to have to be able to vote, or to have a driver's license, or the same rights that we enjoy, that my parents came here for to attain, that they went through the right process. You know, all of our families, we all come from immigrants. We need to celebrate immigration in our country, but it's about doing it the right way. And again, I don't think that it should be the cities and towns' job to round up or take care of that issue. I'm with Kim as far as it's a federal issue.
Mr. Allen?
Yes, Mr. Smith said he doesn't believe non-citizens should be able to vote. Can we clarify? I don't believe that's what a sanctuary city is.
That's correct.
Okay. I am very much in favor of sanctuary city. My first year out of college, I taught English as a second language in an inner city, in an urban community, and I don't know if many of those students were documented or not. And I think about them all the time. They're probably in their 20s now. And I think about their safety and their needs. And, you know, I really got to know those kids very well. And I know that that was a huge issue in the school that I taught in. So, you know, I truly believe in protecting everyone that's here.
Stephen?
Yes, we are a country of immigrants, and so I support sanctuary cities. I think it's important that we recognize that immigrants come in all variations, and it's easy to talk about coming here the right way, following the right process. That just tells me that people have no concept of how complex our immigration system has gotten over the years. And I think we need to, again, recognize that folks are here, they're part of our community. There are neighbors, there are friends, there are people that we all see in our day-to-day basis, and you will run into somebody who's undocumented and you do not know it. So I would absolutely not support using any state resources to remove people.
My mother came here as an undocumented worker many years ago. She came here to this country before I actually came. And what she did was she cleaned houses for a living. And luckily, we had a series of many lucky situations happen in our life. And one of them was that one of the ladies who she cleaned the house for happened to be an immigration attorney. And she was able to save enough money, and she was able to bring me here to the U.S. when I was 5 years old. And I came here legally, but I remember the group of friends that my parents had, that my mother had. She was a single mom. I never met my father. It was a time where people lived in fear. It was a joke in the Colombian Spanish community, La Ini, right? As soon as people heard those words, it elicited nothing but extreme fear. So I believe that, I don't believe the concept of a sanctuary city per se, and that is because I don't believe that in my position as a city council person or as your next senator, I have a responsibility to the greater good. And the fact that federal funds could potentially be compromised, that's a problem for me. And I also, in talking to many undocumented workers in this community, I find that they are sometimes hesitant at the possibility of a sanctuary city because it will shine the spotlight on us. So it's a very pesky situation, but at the same time, we need to remember that these are human beings. These are members of our community.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes, no, I don't think that we should be getting into the business of what the federal government has instituted of becoming a sanctuary city and things of that nature. What I do believe is, I went to the graduation of the Adult Learning Center the other night. And we have some wonderful things that are in place, and they may be difficult things to achieve, but if you work hard at it, just like everybody else works hard at it, I witnessed a couple of people get their citizenship the other evening through the proper channels, which could be alluded to that they're very difficult. But guess what, folks? Everything in life is difficult. You have to work for every single thing you have. And that's what I say. My hand is out, the door is wide open, and the public school system is there to help these folks find their way to citizenship. And that's what I would much more prefer to spend our time and effort on, is to get these folks to become citizens of this great country in the proper fashion.